start this half hour with a story about safety concerns at the airport. Even though PBIA is a convenient option, lots of us go to Fort Lauderdale to catch a flight because the rates are cheaper and there are more destinations.
So earlier this year, when 2 bodies were discovered in the wheel well of a JetBlue airplane on the tarmac in Fort Lauderdale, the CBS12 News I-Team started asking questions. And what they found out is alarming. If a person can hide where the landing gear goes, an object could be hidden inside too. And getting onto the runway to get underneath the planes, that's easier than you might think. Here's Chief Investigator Mike Magnoli with more.
Experts will tell you it's almost, but not entirely, impossible to survive through a flight inside the wheel well of a commercial airplane. You're talking below 0 temperatures and a nearly total lack of oxygen once the plane gets to cruising altitude. In 2014 it happened though. A 15-year-old boy, a stowaway, made it 5.5 hours from San Jose, California to Maui in the airliner's nose wheel well. And 2 recent cases that saw the stowaways dying during the trip. Christmas Eve, a body was found in the wheel well of a United flight that landed in Hawaii from Chicago. Then in January, 2 bodies were found in the wheel well on JetBlue. That plane had come to Fort Lauderdale from New York, but earlier in the day, it had been in the Dominican Republic. And that's where investigators believe the victims got on board. 2 young men trying to come to America for a better life. They never made it.
So if someone can access the underbelly of the airplane, undetected, it raises questions about, what the intent of this individual might be, which in this case wasn't, but it could be malicious.
I spoke to Dr. Hassan Shahidi, the president and CEO of Flight Safety Foundation. He says that runways are too accessible, and he says these incidents should prompt a larger discussion.
Airports, the perimeter of the airport is an important area, and it must comply with certain international standards and certainly U.S. standards with respect to security, to make sure that unauthorized personnel and individuals do not get access.
And the United States can do things to foreign airports to punish them if security isn't tight enough. The TSA looks at every airport in the world that offers flights to America and receives American passenger planes.
If, as a result of the investigation, it is discovered that airports do not comply with these regulations, then flights into the U.S. from those airports can be denied.
But beyond this, the Fort Lauderdale case suggests that ground crews in the United States aren't doing what they're supposed to. Because how could the stowaways not have been discovered in New York? And the plane had made another stop with the victims on board in Salt Lake City. For additional perspective, I spoke with Leonard Saratori. He's retired, but his career was in airport operations. 14 years at Westchester Airport in New York. 2 years at Fort Lauderdale, and most recently, 20 years at PBIA.
Sure, there's some areas of the airport that people can get through the fence.
Saratori told me about 2 cases at PBIA when he was there, where a driver lost control of a car on a nearby road and crashed into the fence surrounding the airport. The chain link portions were separated from their poles in the accidents, but looking at it, you couldn't even tell.
I guess the fence sometimes springs back.
And Lenny says after midnight, the runways and the airport perimeter get very quiet.
I mean, in the night, there's a lot of darkness out at the airfield. If the runway's not lighted, you're looking at a dark field. Somebody can actually if they really want to, could sneak out there and get on the runway.
Dr. Shahidi and Leonard say what needs to change here is adding more of everything. Cameras, lights on the runway, security personnel, and more checking underneath the airplanes. I'm Mike Magnoli, CBS 12 News.